In this video, we're going to be discussing the signs of whether or not this is your anxiety that's playing up, or the person you're dating or in a relationship or situationship with is actually giving you crumbs, because that can be really confusing, right? To know, is it that I am misinterpreting everything? Am I feeling anxious when I don't need to? Or is it actually the reality that this person is not showing up in the way that I need and or deserve? For this video, I am going to be guided by a post that I put up on Instagram because it was quite a popular one. So I will be looking at my phone. Before we get started though, if you are new here, welcome to the community. If you have been here before and you're returning, then welcome back. I really hope that you come to this channel, know that you're not alone, and take some wisdom away that helps you to move towards that more earned, secure attachment. My name is Carly Ann. I'm an attachment and trauma-informed coach and founder of membership Follow Your Fire, which is for all things attachment styles and rediscovering yourself. Now, let's dive into this post. So one of the first signs for you to start to consider, because I should say, right, this is very nuanced, it is a grey area. I don't know who the other person is or what they're experiencing. Not that we're going to be making excuses or anything, but these are some good signs of whether it's your anxious attachment or you are getting the crumbs. So firstly is how clear and open they are about their feelings and about wanting to get to know you. If the reality is that they are being open about their feelings and having these discussions, then that's a good sign. But if they're wanting to avoid that completely, shut you down, say maybe later, then that's definitely not great when it comes to building a relationship with someone, right? On the flip side, I would also say that you need to be attempting that as well and asking questions if they're not giving that, because it could be just two of you sort of both pulling away. So if you know that you have tried leaning in and they're still, I'm not saying it has to be you that makes that first move, but also why not, but if they're still doing that avoidance of feelings and all of those things in conversations, that's not going to be a good sign, and that isn't just your anxiety. This one, I want you to hear me quite carefully. So it's a good sign that a relationship can be formed and a bond can happen when there is consistency. So if there is consistency in their behavior and them showing up in your conversation and seeing each other, then yes, that's a good sign for this. If it isn't consistent, it's completely unpredictable, then that's going to, especially if it's early stages of dating for anyone, that's going to cause havoc for you. But consistency doesn't mean 100% of the time. We all need a bit of space to break out of a pattern sometimes, or to not stick to the exact routine. So yes, consistency, but if there are times where they don't text by a certain time or they have fallen out of that pattern, just give it some time to let things kind of naturally unfold, because you might find that there was a reason for that, and we don't have to go in sort of bombarding them with the whys, but we can let things play out and see for ourselves. They honor time commitments with you in comparison to not honoring time commitments with you. And I think that is especially as well if everything is on their terms, because a lot of the time people I work with will be saying, there is consistency. They do honor those time commitments, but it's all on their watch. All of the control is with them. And that's when you see it, right? Being like a weekend partner or a weeknight partner. I don't know if you've heard of that, but it's when they only turn up on the weekends, or they only want to see you on the weeknights, whatever it is. If, of course, the two of you have had a conversation around that and it suits you both, but if it doesn't suit you and you're engaging with it anyway, then that's for you to do that work, right? But I think really looking at if you can trust Okay, I want to backtrack a little bit because it's not fair that I say trust if you have an anxious attachment. So if this gets to play out enough times where it turns out that despite your anxiety, they did show up, they didn't cancel the plans. They might do every now and then. You might cancel plans sometimes, but for the most part, they are consistent. They keep their time commitments with you. And over time, you can start to trust, okay, they do actually show up. Maybe I should have put this one as number one, to be honest, but there is clear respect for your well-being. You know, it's really important that when it comes to what you need, what you value, what hooks you into a relationship, what makes you so attracted to this person, it's really important that we just pause and just check on my list of all of the things that I like about this person or that I'm attracted to about this person, do they respect me as well? Because even if they tick several things off that list, like your list, whatever that's filled with, but it lacks respect and kindness and just, basic morals when it comes to your well-being and your happiness, then that has to be questioned. You absolutely 100% deserve someone that respects you. So if you do see that this person isn't respecting how you feel, and you'll know because perhaps you're not feeling good, you're crying all of the time, you're questioning things all of the time, and they're not supporting that. I'm not saying you're never going to feel that, of course, but when you take that to them, are they accepting of it? Do they receive it? Do they hear you? And are you able to have a conversation of repair? Because if you're not able to have a conversation of repair, you're going to be back here. And I think sometimes that's what we forget. It's not about not getting into these states because no one's perfect, but is there space for repair after it? But please make sure you're feeling respected. And if you are someone who comes from a really chaotic background, a background where what you witness in terms of love and healthy relationships and respect was not accurate, wasn't actually a real definition of those things, then I suggest that you begin to reteach, reparent, and relearn what it is to be and feel respected. Because if you don't know that, then of course you're going to let people disrespect you because you don't know what it is to feel good and to feel heard and to feel seen. And the first place you can start with that is through respecting yourself. What else have I got on here? There are plenty of healthy and secure signs, but your anxiety still gets the better of you. So I think this goes back to that previous point. Do you know what a healthy relationship looks like? Do you know signs of a healthy relationship? I actually have a past video on that I can link so that if you are really unsure, that you can go and watch that and see, are these kind of signs showing up in this relationship? Because if they're not, it's really about questioning, why am I pursuing something and staying in something, sat watching a YouTube video about a relationship where actually it's not that healthy, it's not that secure, I'm not being respected and I'm not feeling good and I don't know where I stand and all of those things. You're noticing there is hot and cold behavior, which means you go between feeling adored and rejected. If there are moments where you feel adored and rejected, we can get so sucked into those moments where you feel adored. And I think that that would really make sense that you might then blame your anxiety. But the reality is that hot and cold, that back and forth, that's not your anxiety. That kind of unpredictability, consistent unpredictability isn't what makes for a long-term, healthy, secure relationship. So I know that they're grey areas, and I would love to just give you this clear list. I believe that more than a friend can tell you, even I can tell you, any video here can tell you, you will know deep down whether what you are pursuing here is something that feels like this does have a really healthy element about it, but my anxiety keeps getting me in hot water, or if I'm pursuing someone here who is giving me crumbs or unavailable, disrespecting me, you will have an inner knowing. So see if you can tap into that as well. If that is something that you really, really struggle with, then I definitely recommend you getting to know the ways that you can work with me. So that might be through watching more of my YouTube channel, subscribing to this and being notified every week when there's new videos, or following me on Instagram, where I'm constantly posting tips, guidance on earning a more secure attachment. You might want to go deeper by checking out my membership or working with me one-to-one. All of the details can be found if you look in the bio. You'll see a list of goodies of how you can connect with me or go deeper when it comes to your attachment style and this healing work. I am posting videos here regularly, so hopefully I will get to see you returning to this channel. Let me know you're here by commenting or sending me a DM on Instagram. I love to know who's watching these videos. I do just want to take a moment to ask you to subscribe to this channel and like this video. YouTube loves it. It's the way that this channel will get out to other people that are struggling with attachment difficulties. And that's the way that they're going to find the work that I'm doing. They're going to find this community. So I'd be really grateful, and I'm sure they would too, if you could like and subscribe.